Are you truly being authentic and living life for yourself? That is what today's episode is all about, because so many of us are not living our lives for ourselves. We're living it for everyone else. We are living our lives for our moms, our spouses, our children, everyone else in the world except for ourselves. Who's the one person we should actually be living our lives for anyway? So stay tuned. That's going to be our topic for today's show. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness. I am your host, Melissa Oatman from melissaoatman.com. If you're new, I want to welcome you to the show. If you're returning, welcome back. Before we get started, a word from our sponsor. Love trying new teas? Treat yourself to a cup of Plum Deluxe. From bold caffeinated blends to relaxing herbal teas, incredible dessert teas or fun floral flavors, there's a delicious tea just waiting for you. Every blend is made fresh in-house using only the highest quality ingredients and carefully crafted recipes. They also have a popular Tea of the Month club, which gets you free shipping and other amazing perks. I personally tried out the apricot mango green tea, and it was delicious. I normally have to put sugar in my tea. I did not have to put anything in this. The flavors were so vibrant and strong, and it was delicious. Loved it. It helped perk me up after a long afternoon of teaching. I also really love the self-care blend. And the name says it all, guys. Self-care. You know I'm all about that. So do yourself a favor and try out this amazing tea. You can visit plumdeluxe.com to save 12% on your first order. I will have the URL in the show notes, and there will also be a VIP code. You can use that, receive your 12% off. Also, don't forget that tea makes an amazing gift. That's right, go to plumdeluxe.com. All right, and so let's dive into today's episode. Most people are, well, at least I like to say that my listeners on my show are reformed people pleasers. Maybe you're not even a reformed people pleaser. Maybe you're still stuck doing things to please everyone else. And the problem with that is that the only person who is unhappy and who isn't pleased is you. You are so busy doing everything for everyone else and making sure everyone else's needs are met, which is lovely of you. But you end up being resentful, emotionally drained, tired, and mostly just really resentful. I know I said that twice because it's really the emotion that stands out. You are resentful of everything. You're resentful of the fact that you don't have your own life, that maybe you chose the wrong career, you chose the wrong marriage, you chose the wrong place to live. I don't know, you name it. When we are a people pleaser, we get stuck in patterns of behavior that cause us to make decisions based on fear rather than on what we really want. We're afraid of what other people will think of us. We're afraid of really speaking out and living authentically and speaking our truth. I know, I've been there. I am one of the biggest violators of this in my life. I chose careers based on what my family thought I should do. I picked relationships and didn't get out of them because I didn't want to upset the person I was in a relationship with. Well, how'd that work out for me? Not so well, let me tell you. It didn't work out so well for me. And it took me a good portion of my life to figure out what I was doing wrong. I thought that I was just a good little person that everyone loved and made everyone happy. But I woke up one day and I thought there has to be more to my life than just this. I am living the same day over and over again. I am feeling no excitement, no happiness. I feel dread every day that I wake up. And the reason that I felt dread and the reason that you may be feeling dread right now is because your soul knows when you are not living authentically. When you are not living your truth, you cannot hide it from your soul. We all know what we came here to do. Our soul knows. We came here with a specific purpose. And when we are not living that purpose, it is very painful. It feels like you're living a lie because your soul knows that you are living a lie. You didn't come here to be broke. You didn't come here to feel unloved. You came here to be abundant, to be happy, to fulfill your soul's mission in whatever that is. Whether you came here to be a healer, you came here to, I don't know, break your family's generational wealth problems. We all came here to do different things. But when we're not living our authentic truth, it can feel like we are living a lie. So today I want to talk to you, and really I want you to get honest with yourself. Are you living your most authentic life? Are you really, truly happy? Or when you have to make a decision, does the first thing that come to your mind, is it, what will so-and-so think? Because I can tell you that I used to think that. What will my mom think? What will my kids think? What will my neighbors think? What will everyone think about me? Whenever I had to sit down and write my book, I will never forget, I told my coworkers, and this is when I was working for a different place, I told them that I wrote a book. And they were all like, oh, wow, cool. What did you write it about? And I think maybe they were expecting me to say, like, I wrote about the German principles of grammar, something that was related to my content, right? And I said, oh, I wrote a story about surviving divorce and single motherhood and giving women tips and tools for how to rebuild their lives using prayers and meditation. And I kind of stopped there. I didn't want to talk about the fact that in it I mentioned past lives or that I talk about EFT because I didn't think any of them would resonate with that at all, or that they would know what it was, and they were probably going to give me weird looks and start judging me. And so I left it at that. But then I knew the inevitable was going to happen. They were going to buy the book, right? Or I would hope they would buy my book. I'm not trying to be presumptuous, but of course they did. They wanted to be supportive. So like, we bought your book. And then my inner voice was like, oh, I hope they don't read it. I hope they don't read it. Isn't that terrible? Like when you put your work out there, just like your heart and soul, you put it out there on the line because you want people to read it, because you want them to change. You want to heal people. That's the whole purpose of writing the book. And for me to sit there and go, oh, I hope they don't read it. It's terrible that I felt that way because I should have been so proud of this. But it's very vulnerable to put yourself out there and to have people read your words and then all of a sudden think, oh, they're going to judge me. But that's what we do. That's what I did. And sometimes when we make a decision that, oh, I'm going to change careers, like maybe you're in your 40s and you think to yourself, I want to change careers. That's what my mom did. She was I believe she was in her early 40s. I could be wrong. She might have been a little bit younger, but I believe she was, when she decided she wanted to go into teaching. And she did not have a college degree. She had gone to school and had some college, but definitely not in the area of teaching. And she had worked one particular career for a long time. And so I'm sure that when she went back to school, she probably thought that we would all look at her like she was weird. Like, why are you doing this? Because it was a struggle. It wasn't something that was just really easy where she just decided she was going to do it and she did it and it was great. It wasn't like that at all. I can remember I was in high school and I remember that she had to quit the job she had because she was going to have to do student teaching during the day. So she quit the job she had and she became a waitress at night, which is grueling work if you've never been a waitress. So she would go to work all day and do her student teaching, and then she would waitress at night. When she was exhausted, teaching by itself is exhausting without adding another job, but many of you who are out there who are teachers realize that a lot of teachers have second jobs because the income's not great, and it's exhausting. And she came home and she would just lay on the couch and just be completely out. So that was a very difficult time in our lives because there was uncertainty and she was working basically two jobs because let's face it, doing student teaching, you're working and not getting paid. You're paying someone so that you can go in and teach. And our system is so weird and backwards, but that's what it is. So she did that. And it was very difficult. And it was difficult being in high school. And then suddenly my mom is completely busy, exhausted, drained, had nothing left to give. That was hard. And then there were times when I remember thinking, like, why is she doing this? Like, what is going on? But she knew that that was her path. And she loved teaching. And she didn't even want to let go of it when she retired. So that was her path. And when you know your truth, you know it. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But it's not always going to make sense to everybody else. Her path did not make sense to my sister and I. Were like, why is she changing careers now? Like, why is she doing this to us now? But it wasn't about us. It was about her picking her path. And when you're not living your path, every day feels like a struggle. It just feels like a struggle because you don't want to be where you are and you're thinking to yourself, how can I get out of it? Or I'm just stuck here. I think some of us, sometimes we feel like we just got planted here and this is where we're stuck and we're not going to ever be able to move. And the truth is, that is so, that you couldn't be further from the truth. Change is always possible, always. And it doesn't matter how old you are. We're talking with a podcast guest about how there have been people who wake up 90 years old, I want to do something different, and they do it. And the only difference between somebody who's 25 and says, hey, I want to choose a different path, and someone who's 90 and chooses it, the only difference in them is their age, because they both have that determination and the will to live their truth, no matter what it costs. And for many of us, we will stay stuck in situations because we're afraid of what other people will think of us. But the cost of doing that is so high. If you think about it, I've always said to people, I would rather live quality life than have long quantity. That's just my own personal belief. And I feel that way about everything. Like if they said you get to take a vacation, I'd rather have a shorter, more quality vacation than a longer one where I don't get to do as much. That's just how I feel. Quality over quantity. But for most of us, we're sacrificing that quality because we may live a long life, but we're living a life that feels like a lie. That's a struggle to get up every day and to live. And we hide behind these fake smiles. And when someone says, how are you doing? We say, I'm okay, or I'm good. And we're not. Because the truth is, it's like we're wearing a mask. We're wearing a mask to hide how we're truly feeling. And how we're truly feeling is maybe slowly dying inside a little bit. That's how I used to feel. I used to feel like a zombie because I felt like everyone else was happy and I was just dead inside. And that sounds terrible to say that now. It wasn't because I didn't love my family, but I didn't love myself. I didn't love myself enough to step fully into my power and to be who I was meant to be. I stood in the shadows helping everyone else, only I wasn't doing anything for myself. So that was very painful because if somebody would have said, who are you really? I couldn't answer that question. I didn't know who I was. What makes you happy? I don't know. I don't know because I'm not doing things that make me happy right now. And that's the part of living authentically that we have to start doing. We have to start doing things that make us happy, that bring us joy, that light a fire under us and bring us so much passion. Because life isn't supposed to be this, it's fine, whatever. It's not supposed to be just okay. You know, we all know that emoji, just the shrug, like, I'm here. And I used to joke about that. Like people would say, how are you? I'm like, I'm here. That's terrible. We shouldn't feel that way. If someone asks you, how are you? I want you to be able to say, I'm amazing. I love my life. But most of us can't say that. And the reason we can't say that is because we aren't doing anything to change what we don't like about our lives. We get into jobs that we don't like. We're like, well, it's too late. I'm already here now. And I know a lot of people do that because they're afraid because they've built a retirement system and I've already put into this retirement system. And I get that. I understand it. I understand the financial fear. But on the same hand, it's like Do you want to be miserable for 40 years so that you can be happy for 10 or 20 that you're retired in? Or would you like to change it now so that you can actually be happy for the full rest of your life? Because right now, if you're staying stuck in a job where you're not appreciated and where you don't enjoy it, you're not living life. You're living a poor quality of life. And I'm not making fun of you. I have been there. I know exactly how that feels. I remember when I worked as a finance manager, I hated every moment of that job. I truly did. From the moment that I worked there, like the moment I started, I knew that this was not where I was supposed to be. But I told myself, because this was not supposed to be where I stayed. This was a starter job so I could move to what I really wanted to do, which was to use my German and to travel and to do business. I was not staying at this little company. So a year later, which is not like just a temporary till you find something, a year later and like 2 promotions and I'm up to finance manager, I'm in my corner office, which was a nice big office, miserable because I hated my job. It was a toxic environment. And I was working with numbers, which I don't like. I'm not a math person. I was not like an accounting major or anything like that in school. I got this job because I was good at what I did with customer service, and they just kept moving me up. And I landed here managing payroll and different things that I wasn't comfortable doing. But I faked it. I faked my way through it and did it. And, my boss was like, I'm teaching you so much. I'm going to mentor you and you can do all these things. And she was nice, and it was nice of her to do these things for me, but I hated it. She was a math major. So this was like right up her alley, right? It's like, I love working with numbers. I love doing the payroll. I hated putting the checks on the dot matrix printer. And yes, I'm telling my age, but it would jam. It's like, don't ruin the checks. They're expensive. Like everything was so high pressure. It's like, I don't like this and I cannot work this way. But I stayed there for so long, and way too long. And it took a big life moment for me to change that. It took me finding out I was pregnant with twins and realizing that if I stayed, my doctor said, you have a risk of losing them because you're so stressed out. And he's like, I can't tell you what to do, but all I would tell you is that if you were my daughter, I would not want you working there. And I still wasn't planning on quitting. It just happened because I got super upset one day at something that happened in the office, and I snapped. And I just said, I quit. And I just walked out because I couldn't take it. It was like that was the moment that reality hit me in the face. What are you doing here? Why are you here? Why are you putting up with this? You don't deserve this. And so many of us, we haven't gotten to that point yet where we reach that point where we say, enough. You got to get to that point where it's enough. Your threshold has to be reached. But for so many people, we never get to that threshold of that thing that pushes us over the edge and we just go, I quit. I mean, you see that on TV all the time, right? Somebody's storming out, I quit. I literally did that because I reached my threshold of not being able to tolerate that position anymore. But most people never reach that threshold. And they go on and they're unhappy and they just keep going on and moving about life and just doing the same thing. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to get to the threshold point to quit, but you can realize that you're there. You're already there. So you have to ask yourself, where is my cutting off point? Where's my threshold in this relationship or in this job or where I live? When is enough going to be enough? When am I finally going to say, I need to take some action? So I challenge each and every one of you today to look at your lives and think about your level of happiness in every area of your life. And no, it's not going to be rainbows and sunshine in every area of your life every day. It just isn't. That's the way life is. Let's just be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. But you should be happy. So if you look at each area of your life, is there an area of your life where you're not being your authentic self? You're not standing in your power and you're not doing what you want to do. You're not living your life for you. And I would encourage you to think about that. And think about what it is you're sacrificing. What are you sacrificing by staying stuck? For me, it was quality of life. I didn't want to get out of bed in the morning, and every part of my life suffered because of that. I was in a bad mood. I was like a zombie. So my children were not getting the best of me. My family, my partner was not getting the best of me. Nobody was. They were getting the shell of a person because I did not like my life. And I had to make real change in order to really step into my power and realize who I was and that I deserved to be happy. That I didn't have to keep living somebody else's idea of life. I could actually be happy. I could do what I wanted to do. And that's what I'm challenging each and every one of you to do today, is to look at your life. Are you truly living life for you? And if not, why? And who are you living for? If you're not living for you, who are you living for? And at what price is that costing you? What is it costing you to not live your authentic life, to stay stuck, and to be where you are? Are you living a quality life? Or are you just worried about quantity? That is a tough thing to look at. I'm going to get real with you. It was hard for me. It's not easy. But I applaud anyone who does that, because that is the way you're truly going to be at peace, that you're truly going to find your happiness, that you're truly going to be on the right path, is when you stop worrying about what everyone else does and trying to keep up with the Joneses and do everything that everyone else does so you can impress anyone and everyone else, and you start living for you. When you start living authentically and stepping fully into your power and asking yourself when you make decisions, is this going to make me happy? And when it's a no, letting it go. And when it's a yes, moving forward fully in your power. That's how you're going to find happiness and contentment in life. And that is the only way you're going to find it. When you aren't living your truth, you can cause yourself a lot of emotional problems, physical problems, because those emotional things manifest into physical things. When you're not speaking your truth and you're not living your truth, usually you have a blocked throat chakra, and that can lead to thyroid problems, low self-esteem, addictions, a lot of different things. And it's easy to live your life for others. That's the easy thing to do. It's painful and it's hard to deal with, but that's the easy part, is just to say, okay, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to be easygoing. But that's no way to live. And you deserve so much more than that. So I challenge you today to look at every area of your life and decide, am I really being authentic? Am I really living for me? And if I'm not, what can I do to start? And you don't have to completely overhaul your life in one day. What are the little things you can do to start living for yourself? Maybe that's, I'm going to go for walks in the morning and do some self-care. Maybe that's, I don't like my job, so I'm going to get my resume together and I'm going to start looking for new places. What are the little things you can do? And maybe there are big things you want to do and you've just always been afraid. I encourage you to be brave, to be bold, to go after your dreams, because they never expire. Your dreams do not expire. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can absolutely change your mind. You can wake up tomorrow and say, I don't like what I'm doing, I'm going to change my mind. People do it all the time. And people who are successful and happy know that if they're not living their truth, their soul knows it. And then life becomes a struggle because you're not in alignment. But it's possible to get back into alignment. And by taking these small actionable steps, looking at your life, what can I do? How can I really make myself happy? How can I start speaking my truth more? How can I stand up for myself more? And taking action to do that. I encourage you to do it, and I hope that you're all happy. But if you're not, time to take some action. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to pull a card for you today. So the card I pulled is from my deck, Divine Whispers, and it's What Would Love Do? You have a choice in every situation to choose love or fear. When we choose fear, we imagine scenarios that will probably never even happen. We have an emotional reaction, and it's hard to think or react logically. We may end up saying or doing things that we will later regret. When we choose love, we can relax. We don't have to react in an emotional way. We can simply breathe, reflect, and react in a fair and balanced manner. We can be secure in the fact that the universe has our backs, and no matter what the outcome, everything will work out perfectly. Everything always works out perfectly for you, and when you remember that, there is nothing to worry about. There are a couple of mantras that go with this card. The first one is, today I choose love. I express my emotions freely and respectfully. I will not let my emotions due to fear get the best of me. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here with me. If you would like to work with me, I can help you get unstuck. I can help you look at those patterns of behavior that are no longer serving you. I can help you speak up and stand in your power and speak your truth and do all of the things that you've wanted to do. Just work with me. My 30-day Purpose Intensive program is a 30-day coaching program, and we can work on anything you want to work on to help get you the results you want, to help you not feel stuck in life, to help you move forward, whether you want to lose weight and look better and feel better, or you want to get rid of old emotional traumas and move forward, whether you want to seek healthier and better relationships, whatever it is that you want to do. You can work with me. I can get you the results that you want to see. We have a 4-step plan. I like to call it the 4 C's. First, we clear the path. We clear away all the things that are not serving you. Then we create the path. We reframe your thoughts, shift them, rebuild your belief system to get rid of the negative and create positive new beliefs. Then we cultivate the path. Well, you choose the path. You choose the path. We set goals for what you want to achieve and what you want to see in your life in 6 months. And then we give you the tools to start making those changes. And cultivating the path is keeping you accountable and helping you to make those changes and be consistent with it so that they turn into long-lasting positive change. So if you're not sure and you want to work with me, but you're like, I don't know if you can help me, you can book a free discovery call with me. If you go to my website, melissaoatman.com, on the homepage, there are 2 spots where you can click the button to book a free discovery call. We can jump onto Zoom and I can talk to you and answer any questions you have to see if I would be a good fit for you. Also, all of my programs are on my website, melissaoatman.com. More details about each and every one of them are there if you'd like to work with me. Don't hesitate to reach out. I love talking to my listeners, and you are never bothering me. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and ask. I would love to talk to you. Also, if you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please leave a positive review from wherever you're listening. You can leave me some stars on iTunes. I would really appreciate that. I want to thank all of you for supporting me and being here with me. I absolutely love each and every one of you, and I am sending you so much love and light. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I go live Mondays at 6:30 Central on Facebook, where I do a free card reading. If you show up for the live, I'll pull a card especially for you. We have so much fun on those readings. You can even go back and see the old lives in case you want to see what it's all about. All right, guys. Well, I am sending you so much love and light. Don't forget, you can try out my monthly membership, Awaken Your Magic, for just $10 for this month. It is a place where you will find supportive people and you will find the tools you need to help you keep a clear head, live a more positive life when life throws things at you that are hard to handle. And let's face it, that happens often. You have the tools to help you manage and to get through it easier with more grace. So check that out. We have a lot of fun there, and you can find more information on my website there as well under the Awaken Your Magic tab. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing day from wherever you're listening. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.